Train the muscles, not the joints. Alright, so welcome to the live workout. Today I'm going to be doing just a light workout because I've been working out the body parts every day of the week. So I've been doing moderate weights or light weights or easy weights, but I feel brittle today, as far as sore, but not so sore I can't move. It feels like I can still pump the blood in there and stuff. So I'm going to be doing some light chest today, and hopefully the members of the gym don't frickin' disturb me because this guy over here is a real pain in the Don't you laugh? Are you laughing at me? You laughing at me? What the hell is that about?
This is my positivity bubble.
But anyway, I'm gonna find out if I can actually get a couple sets in here. And my brother's here too. Welcome to the live workout. Here's my brother doing his set, okay? Okay, so I'm going to stick pretty light, I think, but we'll see how it goes. But I'm not going to go heavy today, I know that for sure. Just do whatever feels right. My elbow, hold my elbow, and I'm gonna push back that way. You want to push up? Okay, yeah, let me move through the range. So what I'm gonna do first of all is you're gonna come here, bend your arm. So you're gonna bring your arm back. Okay. 10% of your effort. Oh, it fucking hurts. God, the more it hurts, the better it is. Good. As long as you get nasty trigger points, it hurts like crazy. Yeah, I know. I think I've had a trigger point in there for a while. Remember, now we're going to push up. It's the other part of your pec. Push down this way, just like this. Okay. That hurts in the thumb on this one. And so what it's going to do, it's going to basically turn that pec. Glue it, eh? Yeah. The sternal portion of the pec will fire then after. Oh yeah, okay. Piss my pants. Piss my pants, it hurts so bad. Yeah, it feels much different. It resets the muscle spindle and musculature. So I've been doing this in the squat rack in the bar at home. Hanging a dumbbell, but I can't get in there like a thumb.
It's just basically the active movement matters a lot too.
I've been doing the active movement. So what my brother was just doing there is like an active release technique to break up the adhesions in the pec minor and pec major. So sometimes when you're breaking down tissue and you're getting a recovery happening from your workout, sometimes the muscles will glue together. So it's important to kind of unglue them. And there's many different techniques to do this, but sometimes it's very hard to do on your own. So it's good to have somebody to do it with you, right? So it's funny, after doing that technique on my pec there or whatever, it feels like there's a lot more blood flow going in there. So remember, blood flow means recovery, and blood flow also means a gain in muscle mass, right? So sometimes you guys are getting injuries, but it's not because you're doing anything really wrong, but sometimes you need to help assist with blood flow getting in the area, because there is damage being done every time you train. There is a little bit of damage being done, and sometimes the blood circulates in that area, and then, you know, it's like that saran wrap over the muscle will start getting glued sometimes. So it's good to get that addressed once in a while. We're just doing light today, just want to do light, right? So. So this is how I listen to my body, right? When I'm tight and sore, sometimes I'll use a workout as a warm-up workout or a recovery workout, just to get some blood flow in there, but I'm really just focusing on squeezing the muscle, slowing the way down, and just focusing on getting just a bit of blood flow in that area. That's it, right?
So as you can see, just some easy reps. I'm just, slowing down the rep speed, as well as just squeezing a little bit at the top and then coming down. Sometimes I'm holding at the bottom. So I'm not trying to hit any PRs as far as reps. I'm not trying to hit any PRs as far as weight. I'm just trying to pump the blood in there and to restore normal function to the muscle after getting some massage treatment there. And also, you know, when you're sore, this is a great technique to employ just because you want to just get the blood in there to recover, but you're not trying to get the muscle to adapt in order to grow, although this can help growth in the long run.
You hiding from the camera?
Yeah, that's what I do. Hide.
Hiding from the
My
camera.
narcissistic brother has the spotlight.
Yeah, hiding from the camera. Insulting your brother is only going to get you some creative editing. You know that, right? I think a little bit of fairy dust on you as you're doing those seated rows might work well. Yeah, there it is. A little bit of fairy dust. Look at that badonkadonk.
Alright, so I'm going to do some back. I'm just going to do some light pull downs. So again, it's a light workout day, just a light workout. You're wondering, I already trained arms today, so I did that earlier in my garage, so that's why I'm just doing a light chest back and maybe a little bit of legs workout or something, so that's why it's a little easier.
So as you can see, I started with a wider grip, then I went a little narrower and came up a little higher, and now I'm going wider grip again. So with my arms bent a little bit, just where I come to the top there, that's where I feel the ideal stretch in the lats. Any more straightening of the arms and I start to feel the transfer to the shoulder joints and not necessarily any extra stretch in the back. So most of you guys that are veterans and watching this channel understand this fully. But I have had a few guys that constantly just try to antagonize me in the comments and basically try to ask me to come up with reasons why my training technique worked and why. And I'm thinking, you know, ultimately, if you're going to ask the questions, the onus is on you to figure out why it worked. I'm just here to show you what worked. And if you want to embrace that, that's great. If you don't, then go watch somebody else. I'm fine with that as well, you know. So thanks a lot for all you guys that are supporting me and understanding that I'm just trying to help. And those of you that don't want to watch the channel or don't want to learn anything from me, then move on and learn from somebody that has developed muscle. It's your way, you know. There's a lot of different ways to achieve a goal. I'm not here to tell you there's only one way. I'm just here to show you what I did. And that's really all I can speak about in a real way. I can really only speak about what worked for me, and that's what I'm an expert in. So yeah, take it or leave it.
Feels good doing lightweight. So nice doing lightweight, you just get a different pump and a different feel. Your exercise form changes, so sometimes it's just good to just mess around with that. You know, I always talk about variety and things, but sometimes you just discover stuff. You make discoveries when you go outside your comfort zone, so that's why it's good to try new things. You always steal my techniques. You're looking over here. I don't want you stealing any of my techniques. They're patented, copyrighted, trademarked, and whatever else. I know, I'm trying to make people better than I am, right? It's kind of stupid. Well, you know, you gotta wear pants with lots of cat hair. That's the only thing that works. And I know you got too much style to do that. You have to wear pants with a lot of cat hair on them. Yeah. So that's my saving grace right there. You'll never catch up to me just based on that. I'm gonna have to spend all day censoring you out again, like I did last workout. I tell you. In the background, did you see it? I was censoring you out. Make sure you weren't in there.
And here's another way that I'm applying my principle of just changing things up. I'm just doing really lightweight, just 15 pounders there, and just doing lots of reps. And I could tell you that my traps got sore and different parts of the muscle get sore from different rep ranges. So sometimes you'll do an isolation movement and just doing different rep ranges will actually influence what muscles get hit, or different muscles hit failure at a certain time, so a different weak link gets hit and you get different development. So that's why it's important. That's why I'm really careful about saying there's only one way to train, because sometimes you'll become your own worst hypocrite, because you'll say, oh, you got to train this way, and then before you know it, you train with a different rep range or a different range of motion or a different type of exercise, and then all of a sudden that works. So being open really does a lot of it does have a lot of benefits, and ultimately I'm just really enjoying the high reps, just because it just helps pump the blood in a different way, and it helps you just get a different feeling of well-being in the muscle.
These are some light lateral raises. I'm doing the Glenn workout. It's nothing but delts. I'm just gonna do that from now on. Hey Glenn, nothing but shoulders for me from now on. That's all I'm gonna train. Patented Glenn workout. That's it. Okay. You want to be a cameraman for me? Why? Cameraman in training. Cameraman in training. Cameraman alert.
Bodybuilders are grumpy.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if you could focus on your abs.
Yeah. I can't squint my cheeks and do lateral.
Well, hopefully that Christmas tree will come back, hey? Before Christmas. Huh? Christmas tree will come back. Should we start recording now?
Yeah, you should start recording now. The last two fucking clips you messed up. Ready? Alright, so now I'm just going to do some light lunges. Just a nice stretch, really. So light dumbbells, probably 30 pounds, 40 pounds. Just light, just get a stretch. I did some hack squats yesterday with some one-legged squats. I did walking lunges the day before that. And I did some squats and stuff. So anyway, I've been doing legs every day. So again, a little sore. So I'm just going to move to the motion today. It's just a recovery workout, right?
So the nice part about doing really light, you can do some extra reps, and I'm doing some extra lengths here. You know, the gym used to be set up better for walking lunges. There used to be a clear pathway all the way to the garage door and back, so I liked it a lot better back then. But of course, anything that I enjoy, sometimes the owner has to come in and screw it up for me by putting the equipment in the way, or, you know, doing something like not servicing the bars or whatever it is. Hey, but that's the price you pay to be able to always get on your equipment. So hey, the benefits outweigh the downfalls in our gym. So in the end, it's actually pretty good. So here I am going on to some 40 pounders here, and again, I like it because it's just easy, and I like to go up and down once or twice, you know. So any of you guys that are doing walking lunges, I do recommend this technique just because it helps offset a lot of the momentum from just stepping straight and then just dropping down right away and then going right into the next step and dropping down, because once your legs start to burn a bit, there is a tendency for you to really start speeding up and struggling and going off balance. So like I've said before, whenever you combine weight with instability and stretch, you know, those three things, that's like the triple hit combo for muscle pulls or strain. So you want to make sure you're kind of careful with that. But the nice part is with the lighter weight, it's just a good way of just getting a nice groove, stretching out the muscles. And then the next day I'm going to do some squats, right? So the whole goal of this workout is not necessarily to get sore, but it is to get the blood in the area, get a bit of a burn, and to stretch everything out. So it really helps when I do train legs a little bit heavier for me to feel more of a mind-muscle connection and to have a better proprioception, and not want to throw up in a bucket when I'm doing some high rep squats, right? So that's the other benefit. You know, sometimes when you're doing these warm-up workouts, and I will be putting up another warm-up workout just to show you another example of a workout that I do sometimes in between chest days and things. If I feel like my chest needs a bit of a pump or it needs a bit more coordination, I'll show you one of those workouts pretty soon. I'll put it up. But anyway, this helps me be able to work harder on the day that I want to train legs. So this is up to you. It's really a personal preference. It doesn't mean that you have to do this, but this is just one technique or one way that sometimes I found motivation. I do the easy workouts so that way I could train really hard when I want to have a more intense day. So I guess the moral of this bedtime story is to mix the rep ranges up, you know, because that's what I'm doing here. I'm just doing a little bit higher reps than usual for walking lunges. And it's amazing how much you can make your legs scream. I had one guy ask me about how to train legs when he's on vacation or to get a good workout in. And I said, just find a place and just do some walking lunges and just go forever. Just do as many walking lunges as you can. You will pump your legs up like crazy. And it will maintain enough strength and mass and stretch and coordination for when you do have a chance to get into the squat rack or to do some walking lunges with some weight. But anyway, here's what I look like right now. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. And I'll see you soon. And make sure you check out my website, naturalgallantbodybuilding.com. There you go, train the muscles, not the joints. Guaranteed to make your back bigger, guaranteed.